563 home runs, 5 World Series championships, 14 All-Star teams. But numbers don't tell the whole story. Reggie Jackson was loud, cocky, arrogant. He talked trash before trash talk was cool. He fought with his manager in the dugout on national television. He clashed with owners who signed his paychecks. He walked into clubhouses like he owned the place because in his mind, he did. But here's the thing. When October came, when the pressure was at its peak, when everyone else choked, Reggie Jackson became a god. One night in 1977, he stepped to the plate 3 times in the World Series. 3 swings, 3 home runs, 3 different pitchers. 56,000 fans chanted his name. Even the opposing first baseman admitted he applauded inside his glove. They called him Mr. October. This is his story. Reginald Martinez Jackson was born on May 18, 1946, in the Wyncote neighborhood of Cheltenham Township, Pennsylvania, just north of Philadelphia. He was the 4th of 6 children born to Martinez Jackson and Clara Jackson. His father was a remarkable man. Martinez Jackson was half Puerto Rican, the son of a Spanish woman, and a black man. He played second base for the Newark Eagles in the Negro Leagues from 1933 to 1938. He served as a fighter pilot in World War II, flying P-51 Mustangs during the North Africa campaign. After the war, he used his Army Air Corps savings to start a dry cleaning and tailoring business. The family lived above the shop, in a modest 2-story building. Young Reggie learned the trade from his father. Decades later, he would joke that he could still cuff a pair of slacks if he had to. But the Jackson household was not a happy one. His parents' marriage was troubled, and when Reggie was 6 years old, they divorced. His mother Clara left, taking 3 of his siblings with her. Reggie stayed behind with his father, along with an older brother and a half-brother. Martinez Jackson became a single father, raising his boys in a predominantly white neighborhood. They were one of the few black families in Wyncote. Money was tight. Reggie later recalled that they often felt poverty, though his father always managed to put food on the table. Growing up without his mother left a mark on young Reggie. He channeled that pain into sports, determined to prove himself, to stand out, to be somebody. His father instilled in him a fierce work ethic and an unshakable belief in himself. Martinez Jackson had overcome obstacles that would have broken most men, including racism in professional baseball, the dangers of combat, and the challenge of starting a business from nothing. He passed that resilience on to his son, and stand out he did. At Cheltenham High School, Reggie was a 4-sport star. He played football, basketball, baseball, and ran track. In the 100-yard dash, he clocked 9.7 seconds. His best high jump cleared 6 feet 3 inches, remarkable for someone who stood just 5 feet 10. In football, he played tailback, using his speed and power to dominate opponents. He suffered a serious knee injury in his junior year, but came back stronger. At one point, doctors feared he might have broken bones in his neck, and they worried he might never walk again, let alone play sports. Reggie proved them wrong. In baseball, he was both a power hitter and a dominant pitcher who threw several no-hitters. College scouts and professional teams took notice. By the time he was a senior, recruiters were practically camped out on his doorstep. But football was his best sport, or so everyone thought. College recruiters from Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma, and other powerhouses came calling. Reggie had scholarship offers from across the country. His father had other ideas. Martinez Jackson believed in education above all else. He told his son, Reggie, "If you get an education, no one can ever take that away from you. You will always be able to make a living and provide for your family. So you are going to go to college." Reggie listened. He accepted a football scholarship to Arizona State University. But there was a problem. Near the end of Reggie's senior year of high school, Martinez Jackson was arrested for making moonshine in his basement. He was sent to jail, missing his son's graduation. Reggie arrived at Arizona State alone, without the father who had guided him through childhood. He threw himself into football, but the grueling workouts wore him down. The practices were brutal, far more demanding than anything he had experienced in high school. One day, looking for a break from the punishment of football drills, he wandered over to the baseball diamond. The baseball coach, Bobby Winkles, agreed to let Reggie take some swings. Still wearing his football uniform, covered in sweat and dirt, Reggie stepped into the batting cage. On his second swing, he launched a home run. Then another and another, 3 home runs in 5 swings. The baseball coaches looked at each other in disbelief. Winkles had seen enough. He invited Reggie to practice with the team. Due to NCAA rules, Reggie could not play in games during his freshman year, but he practiced with the squad and continued to develop his skills. After his first year, Reggie made a decision that would change his life. He gave up football entirely to focus on baseball. Coach Winkles sent him to play for an amateur team called Leones during the summer, where Reggie shattered team records. In his sophomore year, Reggie became Arizona State's starting center fielder. He broke the school record for home runs in a season and was named an All-American. The Baltimore Orioles offered him a substantial bonus to turn professional, but Reggie turned them down. His father had taught him the value of education, and he wanted to keep his college scholarship. Then came the 1966 Major League Baseball draft. The New York Mets held the first pick. They selected a high school catcher named Steve Chilcott, who would suffer injuries and never play a single game in the majors. It remains one of the worst draft decisions in baseball history. With the second pick, the Kansas City Athletics selected Reggie Jackson. It was the beginning of a legendary career and a complicated journey through American racism. Reggie signed with the Athletics for an $85,000 bonus. His father, now out of jail, traveled with him to owner Charlie Finley's Indiana farm to negotiate the deal. The Athletics assigned Reggie to their AA affiliate in Birmingham, Alabama. It was 1967. The Civil Rights Act had been passed just 3 years earlier. Birmingham was still a city scarred by racial violence. In 1963, members of the Ku Klux Klan bombed the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, killing 4 young black girls. Bull Connor, the notorious segregationist, had been the city's commissioner of public safety until the year before Reggie arrived. Reggie Jackson was one of the few black players on the Birmingham A's. What he experienced there would stay with him for the rest of his life. Decades later, in June 2024, Reggie returned to Birmingham's Rickwood Field for a Major League Baseball tribute game honoring the Negro Leagues. Asked about his emotions, he delivered a raw, unsparing account of the racism he had faced. On the Fox Sports broadcast, Jackson said, "Coming back here was not easy." He described the racism he faced when he played here and the difficulty of going through different places where the team traveled. He said he would not wish it on anybody. He said he walked into restaurants and people would point at him and say the N-word could not eat there. He said he would go to a hotel and people would say the N-word could not stay there. Reggie described going to Charlie Finley's country club for a team dinner. People pointed him out with the N-word and said he could not come in. He survived because of his white teammates and his manager, Johnny McNamara. Reggie recalled that if he could not eat in a place, nobody would eat. They would get food to travel. If he could not stay in a hotel, they would drive to the next hotel and find a place where he could stay. One teammate, Joe Rudi, let Reggie sleep on his couch for weeks at a time. That arrangement ended only when someone threatened to burn down the apartment complex because a black man was staying there. He said he would not wish it on anyone. At the same time, he said that had it not been for his white friends and for a white manager, he would never have made it. Despite everything, Reggie performed. He hit well enough in Birmingham to earn a promotion. In 1967, he was called up to the Kansas City Athletics for a brief stint. By 1968, he was in the majors to stay. The team moved to Oakland that same year, and Reggie Jackson became the face of the franchise. The 1968 season was a learning experience. Reggie showed flashes of brilliance, but also struggled with consistency. He hit 29 home runs but batted just .250 and struck out 171 times. Then came 1969, the year Reggie Jackson announced his breakout to the baseball world. Through the first half of the season, he was on a pace that had fans dreaming of Roger Maris's single-season home run record. By the All-Star break, he had 37 home runs. The whole country was watching. He cooled off in the second half. The pressure was immense for a 23-year-old, but he still finished with 47 home runs, just 2 shy of the league lead. He drove in 118 runs and led the American League with 123 runs scored. He was an all-star for the first time. But 1969 also revealed something about Reggie that would define his career. He struck out a lot. He led the league with 142 strikeouts that season. Over his career, he would accumulate 2,597 strikeouts, a major league record at the time of his retirement. Strikeouts were part of his game. Reggie did not apologize for the strikeouts. He swung hard, he swung for the fences. Sometimes he missed, but when he connected, the ball traveled farther than almost anyone else could hit it. He understood a fundamental truth about his game. The same aggressive approach that led to strikeouts also led to tape measure home runs. Power came with the cost. In the 1971 All-Star Game at Detroit's Tiger Stadium, Reggie gave the nation a glimpse of that power. Pinch hitting in the third inning with his team, down 3-0, he faced Pirates pitcher Doc Ellis. Reggie swung and launched a towering shot that struck a transformer on the stadium roof. Some observers said the ball would have left the stadium entirely if it had not hit the obstruction. The American League rallied to win 6-4. Reggie later said that he was not even trying to hit a home run. He was just trying to keep from striking out. All he wanted to do was meet the ball. By 1972, the Oakland Athletics were ready to win. Manager Dick Williams had assembled a collection of talented, colorful, combative players. They had Vida Blue, the flame-throwing left-hander. They had Catfish Hunter, the ace with pinpoint control. They had Rollie Fingers, the mustachioed reliever who would become one of the greatest closers in history. And they had Reggie Jackson. That spring, Reggie showed up to camp with a mustache. His teammates told him to shave it off. He refused. Owner Charlie Finley loved it so much that he offered every player $300 to grow facial hair. The Mustache Gang was born. The 1972 Athletics won 93 games and captured the American League West. In the playoffs, they faced the Detroit Tigers. The series went to a decisive fifth game. In the second inning, Reggie drew a walk, stole second, and advanced to third on a flyout. Then he and teammate Mike Epstein executed a double steal. Reggie sprinted home as Epstein drew a throw to second. He scored, but he injured his hamstring in the process. Reggie hobbled off the field in tears. His postseason was over. He was injured and sidelined. Reggie recalled that when he had to hobble off the field, he cried. Then he looked in the stands, and there, sitting next to the dugout, was Mr. Finley, and he was crying too. The Athletics won the pennant without their star. In the World Series against the Cincinnati Reds, catcher Gene Tenace stepped up, hitting 4 home runs and winning the Most Valuable Player award. Oakland defeated the Big Red Machine in 7 games for their first championship since 1930. Reggie watched from the bench, his leg wrapped, unable to contribute. It was the only World Series he would ever miss. The following year, 1973, belonged to Reggie Jackson. He led the American League with 32 home runs and 117 runs batted in. He scored 99 runs. He was named the American League's Most Valuable Player, and this time he was healthy for October. The Athletics faced the New York Mets in the World Series. It was a hard-fought battle that went 7 games. In the decisive Game 7, Reggie came to bat in the third inning against Mets pitcher John Matlack, with the score tied at 0. He launched a 2-run home run. Teammate Bert Campaneris followed with another 2-run shot. Just like that, Oakland led 4-0. They held on to win 5-2. Reggie Jackson was named World Series Most Valuable Player. The Athletics had won their second consecutive championship, but the 1973 season was not without controversy. In June, Reggie got into a clubhouse fight with teammate Billy North at Detroit's Tiger Stadium. During the altercation, catcher Ray Fosse, the same Ray Fosse who Pete Rose had famously collided with in the 1970 All-Star Game, tried to separate the combatants. Fosse suffered a crushed disc in his neck, costing him 3 months on the disabled list. The Athletics were a talented but combustible group. They fought with each other, fought with their manager, fought with owner Charlie Finley. But when it came time to play, they were all business. In 1974, Oakland made it 3 in a row, defeating the Los Angeles Dodgers in 5 games. Rollie Fingers won the series' Most Valuable Player, but Reggie contributed a crucial outfield assist in the clinching game that helped preserve the victory. Backing up center fielder Billy North on an error, Reggie fired a strike to the relay man to cut down a potential run. The Oakland Athletics had become a dynasty, the only franchise besides the New York Yankees to win 3 consecutive World Series titles. Reggie Jackson, Catfish Hunter, Rollie Fingers, Vida Blue, Sal Bando, Joe Rudi, Bert Campaneris. They were champions, and they knew it. Years later, Reggie reflected on those Oakland teams. He said, "I won 3 World Series here. I hit more home runs here than I hit in New York. I probably accomplished more here. If I had to say which team meant more to me, I'd probably say the A's." But dynasties do not last forever, and Charlie Finley's refusal to pay his players was about to tear the team apart. After the 1974 season, Catfish Hunter became baseball's first modern free agent because of a contract dispute with Charlie Finley. He signed with the Yankees. The Athletics won their division again in 1975, but were swept by the Boston Red Sox in the playoffs. Reggie wanted a big contract. Finley refused to pay. Before the 1976 season, Reggie was traded to the Baltimore Orioles. He played 1 season in Baltimore, stealing a career-high 28 bases, but he had his eye on a bigger stage. After the 1976 season, Reggie Jackson became a free agent. The New York Yankees came calling available than Reggie Jackson. Steinbrenner signed Reggie to a 5-year contract worth $2,960,000, a staggering sum at the time. Reggie had predicted years earlier that if he ever played in New York, they would name a candy bar after him. "If I played in New York, they'd name a candy bar after me," Reggie had said back in 1976. Within 2 years, the Reggie bar was on store shelves across America. On opening day, 1978, the Yankees gave out free Reggie bars to fans. When Reggie hit a home run in his first at-bat, thousands of candy bars came raining down onto the field. Sports writers had a field day. One wrote that when you opened a Reggie bar wrapper, it told you how good it was. But first, Reggie had to survive the most turbulent season of his career. Reggie's first season with the Yankees in 1977 was chaotic from the moment he arrived. In a spring training interview with Sport magazine, Reggie made comments that infuriated his new teammates. He called himself the straw that stirs the drink, suggesting that he, not team captain Thurman Munson, was the player who made the Yankees winners. Reggie said he was the straw that stirs the drink. "It all comes back to me. Maybe I should say me and Munson, but really, he does not enter into it." Munson was the heart and soul of the Yankees, a gritty catcher who had won the MVP award in 1976. He was beloved by his teammates for his toughness and leadership. Reggie's comments created a rift between them that never fully healed. Then there was Billy Martin, the Yankees' volatile manager. Martin was a former Yankee himself, a scrappy infielder who had helped the team win championships in the 1950s. As a manager, he was brilliant but combustible, prone to feuds with players, owners, and anyone else who crossed him. Martin had managed the Detroit Tigers when Reggie's Athletics beat them in the 1972 playoffs. There was history between them, and not the good kind. Martin did not want Reggie on his team. Steinbrenner had signed Reggie over Martin's objections. On June 18, 1977, the tensions exploded on national television. During a game against the Boston Red Sox at Fenway Park, Reggie appeared to loaf after a ball hit to right field. Martin was furious. He sent Paul Blair out to replace Reggie in the middle of the inning. When Reggie reached the dugout, the two men nearly came to blows. Coaches had to restrain Martin from attacking his own player. The whole country watched. Despite the chaos, the Yankees won. They finished with 100 wins and captured the American League East. They beat the Kansas City Royals in a 5-game championship series, with Reggie delivering a clutch run batted in single after being benched for most of the series. Then came the World Series against the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Yankees won the first game, lost the second, then won games 3, 4, and 5 to take a commanding lead. They needed one more victory to clinch the championship. Game 6, October 18, 1977, Yankee Stadium. 56,407 fans packed the house, sensing history. Before the game, Joe DiMaggio, the Yankee Clipper himself, sat down next to Reggie in the clubhouse. DiMaggio had been Oakland's hitting coach when Reggie was a young player in the late 1960s. Now the greatest living Yankee told Reggie that he thought he was a great ball player. It was exactly the confidence boost Reggie needed, validation from a legend. During batting practice, Reggie put on a show unlike anything the stadium had seen. He launched ball after ball into the seats, into the upper deck, into the black seats in center field, everywhere. Later, Reggie estimated that he hit 35 balls into the stands out of roughly 50 swings. Writer Roger Kahn, watching from the press box, said it was the most impressive batting practice display he had ever witnessed. The crowd began chanting his name even before the game started. Reggie, Reggie, Reggie. Teammate Willie Randolph shouted from the cage, "Hey, would you maybe save a little of that for the game?" Reggie nodded and smiled. "I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great." The Dodgers took an early 3-2 lead, but Reggie walked in his first at bat. The Yankees had tied the game by the 4th inning when Reggie came to bat against starter Bert Hooton with Thurman Munson on base. Reggie had consulted with Yankees scout Gene Michael before the game. Michael told him flatly, "Hooton's gonna pitch you a fastball in." First pitch, fastball inside. Reggie swung and drove it into the right field seats. 2-run home run. The Yankees take the lead, 4-3. "As soon as I hit it, I knew it was gone," Reggie said later. In the 5th inning, Reggie faced reliever Elias Sosa, who had posted a 1.98 earned run average during the regular season. Willie Randolph was on first base. Reggie figured Sosa would also come inside with a fastball. He did. First pitch, fastball. Reggie hammered a line drive into the first row of the lower deck in right field. Another 2-run home run. The lead grows to 7-3. Reggie held up 2 fingers as he rounded the bases. "That's 2, he shouted with a wide grin. "I was still in batting practice. That's how I felt." Randolph recalled years later, "Once he hit the second home run, I knew he was going to hit another one because he was in such a good groove." In the 8th inning, Reggie faced knuckleballer Charlie Hough. The crowd was on its feet, anticipating history. Fans were already throwing firecrackers onto the field in celebration. First pitch, knuckleball. Catcher Steve Yeager later lamented, "It was a knuckler, a perfect pitch for him to hit." Reggie crushed it, a towering shot that sailed over the center field wall, landing deep in the black seats, nearly 500 feet from home plate. 3 home runs, 3 pitches, 3 different pitchers. 3. Reggie stood at home plate for several seconds, watching the ball disappear into the night. Then he began his trot around the bases, soaking in the adulation of 56,000 screaming fans. When he reached the dugout, his teammates, the same teammates he had feuded with all season, mobbed him. Reggie looked at the camera, held up 3 fingers and said, "That's 3, Mom." The Yankees won 8-4. They were World Series champions for the first time since 1962. Dodgers manager Tommy Lasorda said it was the greatest performance he had ever seen in a World Series. Dodgers first baseman Steve Garvey later admitted that when Reggie hit his third home run, and he was sure nobody was looking, he applauded into his glove. Reggie Jackson had earned his nickname forever, Mr. October. The following year, 1978, Reggie and the Yankees did it again. They staged a comeback, coming from 14 games behind the Red Sox to force a one-game playoff, and they won on Bucky Dent's famous home run. Then they beat the Dodgers again in the World Series, 4-2. Reggie hit 2 more home runs in that series, batting .391. He had back-to-back championship rings, just like he had won in Oakland. Reggie played 3 more seasons with the Yankees, making the All-Star team each year. In 1980, he hit a career-high .300 with 41 home runs, leading the league in long balls for the 4th time in his career. But after the 1981 season, George Steinbrenner let Reggie walk. The relationship between owner and player had soured. Steinbrenner wanted younger, cheaper talent. At 35 years old, Reggie was considered past his prime. He signed with the California Angels, returning to the West Coast where his career had begun. In Anaheim, Reggie proved the doubters wrong. In his first season with the Angels, 1982, he led the American League with 39 home runs at age 36. He helped the team win the American League West Division title, though they lost to the Milwaukee Brewers in the championship series. Reggie continued to produce year after year. In 1984, at age 38, he reached one of baseball's most exclusive milestones. On September 17, 1984, Reggie launched his 500th career home run off Kansas City's Bud Black. He became just the 13th player in baseball history to reach that plateau. The Angels held a ceremony in his honor, and Reggie, never one for modesty, embraced the moment. He said he always knew he would hit 500. He added that he just did not know when. He helped the Angels win another division title in 1986, making the playoffs for the 10th time in his career. The Angels came within 1 strike of reaching the World Series before the Boston Red Sox staged a dramatic comeback to win the American League Championship Series. It was a heartbreaking end to what would be Reggie's last postseason appearance. Reggie finished his career where it began, with the Oakland Athletics. He signed a 1-year contract for the 1987 season, returning to the team that had drafted him 21 years earlier. The body was breaking down, he was 41 years old, but the swing was still beautiful. Reggie hit 15 home runs that final season, including number 563, his last. His final at-bat came on October 4, 1987, at Comiskey Park in Chicago. Facing White Sox pitching, he stroked a broken bat single up the middle. It was a fitting end, Reggie getting one more hit and one more moment in the spotlight. After the season, there was speculation that Reggie might continue playing. He received an offer to play in Japan, and there were rumors about a possible return to the Yankees for a stretch run. But Reggie knew it was time. No way, you will not see me in uniform. I'm done. Stick a fork in me, Jackson said. When he retired, Reggie Jackson had played 21 seasons and reached the postseason in 11 of them, a remarkable testament to his ability to play on winning teams. He won 6 pennants and 5 World Series championships. He hit 563 home runs, 6th all-time when he retired, and still among the top 15 in baseball history. His postseason numbers were staggering. In 77 playoff games, he hit 18 home runs and drove in 48 runs. In 27 World Series games, he hit 10 home runs with 24 RBIs and a .357 batting average. The career World Series slugging percentage of .755 remains a record to this day. No one performed better when it mattered most. No one earned the nickname Mr. October more thoroughly. On August 1, 1993, Reggie Jackson was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. He was the only player inducted that year, receiving 93.6% of the vote in his first year of eligibility. The ceremony in Cooperstown was everything Reggie had dreamed of. His father, Martinez, who had taught him to play baseball and pushed him to get an education, was there to see it. Martinez Jackson died the following spring, but he lived long enough to see his son immortalized among the game's greatest players. For his Hall of Fame plaque, Reggie chose to be depicted in a Yankees cap, not an Athletics cap, despite having played more seasons and hit more home runs in Oakland. The decision stung Oakland fans, but Reggie explained his reasoning. "I feel this is the place that's really claimed me," he said of New York. 2 weeks later, the Yankees retired his number 44. In 2004, the Athletics retired his number 9. Reggie became one of only 10 players in baseball history to have their numbers retired by multiple teams. Throughout his career and beyond, Reggie Jackson never shied away from speaking his mind. He was outspoken about race, about baseball, about his own greatness. "The only reason I don't like playing in the World Series is I hate to see the series end," he once said. "I could play in the World Series forever." He also said, "I was reminded that when I was going good, I didn't think I'd ever go bad. Now I'm going bad, and I don't think I'll ever go good again." That honesty, that willingness to embrace both his triumphs and his failures, made Reggie Jackson compelling in a way few athletes ever are. His teammate Darryl Knowles once said, "There isn't enough mustard in the world to cover Reggie Jackson." It was meant as a criticism of Reggie's showmanship. But Reggie didn't care. He was who he was, bold, brash, confident, and spectacularly talented. In his 2024 speech at Rickwood Field, Reggie showed another side of himself. He spoke about Willie Mays, who had died just days before the tribute game. Mays had been Reggie's idol growing up. The way he showed the love of the game, the way he respected the game, Reggie said. They grew up in an era when if you had a complaint about the game or a complaint about society, you suppressed it. Today's player doesn't do that. Reggie had never suppressed anything. He had spoken out about racism. He had demanded respect. He had insisted on being paid what he was worth. In doing so, he helped pave the way for generations of players who came after him. Today, Reggie Jackson remains connected to baseball. He has worked as a special advisor for the New York Yankees, mentoring young players and sharing the wisdom of his remarkable career. His legacy is secure: 563 home runs, 5 World Series championships, the nickname that will live forever, Mr. October. But perhaps his legacy is best captured by something he said after that magical night in 1977, when he hit 3 home runs on 3 swings and the world seemed to stop. "Being with the Yankees and winning world championships with them makes you part of a great fraternity," Reggie said. "It's the greatest sports franchise in sports. No other team has 27 world championships. I'm honored to be mentioned as one of the Yankees' greats, especially because I only played there 5 years. 5 years, 3 pennants, 2 World Series titles, 1 unforgettable October night." That's Reggie Jackson, larger than life, impossible to ignore. Forever, Mr. October. Like and subscribe for more baseball documentaries. Until next time.